Good morning and good afternoon. Welcome back. Kent Bain with 9 Business Group and Elevate Your Business Chat. We have the pleasure of Erwin Jack joining us today. Erwin, welcome. Please introduce yourself and the company name, what sets you apart, what makes you guys different, and why people would want to hire you.
Yeah, thank you, Kent, first of all, for your time. My name's Erwin Jack, and I'm Global Vice President of our Marketing Sales Technology Division at ATS. ATS stands for Above the Standard. We've abbreviated that recently, and we've been around for over 40 years. So I joined the company just over 3 years ago, and there's a lot that's different with this company. I will actually stress the point of the values that they hold, and I think that's what really stood out to me. Integrity. Integrity is so hard to find nowadays. I will just put it up there, and when it hits me in the face, I see the integrity, the honesty, the transparency. That's what attracted me to the company, and I believe that is what attracts a lot of our clients to the company. And I will tell you, I will absolutely not compromise on integrity. I don't care what. If it means the lost sale, so be it. That's where I'm at. And I believe we need to really value people, and that's what I see with ATS. I personally value people, and I'm realizing the importance of that every day more and more. And we need to build those relationships, and that's what ATS is about: building mutual relationships. One-sided relationships never work. We know that in personal life they fall apart. Business is no different. So they do need to be mutual. So if you're trying to build a relationship with someone and you see it's not going to be mutual, it's not going to be worth my time or their time.
Excellent. Well said. I think that's great. That is, if no other reason, a good reason to do business with somebody. So you've been with ATS 3 years now. You've probably had an amazing career. Whether it be ATS or your career, what is the biggest challenge you've overcome? How did you tackle it? How did you solve it? And what is the outcome today?
Well, the biggest thing I think what I've experienced is that the business community knows who I am. If you're out there representing, products or solutions, and they don't know who you are, they're not going to buy from you. They buy from people that they know and they trust. So that was really my biggest challenge. Who am I? Who am I? And I know from past careers, just being myself, being authentic helps quite a bit, and also having the credibility of the company. That's the other aspect of it. And but still, me as a person, I need to be known. And so that was kind of a challenge. And I found that one way to get known by people in the business community is LinkedIn. And LinkedIn is really the place where people are there to network. Well, I should say the vast majority of people are there to network. Let me rephrase that. Most people are there to network, and so you'll find business leaders there. You'll find salespeople there. People in the C-suite. And these are the people that I want to connect with, right? And so it's a great way to do this. The days of going face to face with business, they're pretty much gone. You don't see them anymore.
They are indeed. What is the one thing you know now that wish you would have known when you started in business?
LinkedIn. I'm gonna come back to LinkedIn. Had I been wise with LinkedIn, I came on LinkedIn, I'm not sure how many years ago now, and there were far fewer users on LinkedIn at that time. I should have been more aggressive on LinkedIn as I am today. So that means in terms of my profile, knowing all the different parts of my profile, that I'm using them to the best of my ability. Every slot is basically a spot for me to advertise myself, who I am. But people use the term branding, personal branding, right? And I guess that's really what you're doing on LinkedIn. You need to be doing that on LinkedIn. Had I been doing that all these years, people know many more people would know me today than they actually do. But that's fine. I've learned that, and you need to be posting. You need to be engaging with people on LinkedIn. You know, you need to not just go like to post. You also need to comment. You know, get involved. You know, and then people start to follow you. Hey, this person believes in these kinds of values. I believe in those values too. I need to follow this person. You know, what do they have to say? And so you build up your network that way. I never imagined that I'd have, you know, thousands of people that I'd be connected to on LinkedIn. But that's just through taking the time every day, you know, to work LinkedIn. You have to work LinkedIn. You know, I take time as well when I see people have new careers that they jump into, congratulate them and so on. I know what it feels like. You feel good. Hey, people notice you made a career change. You know, they appreciate that. You know, so you don't make it all about yourself. Although part of it is, as I said, with personal branding on LinkedIn, but you have to focus on other people, and that's how you connect. That's how you're going to start making new friends.
How many hours a week do you think you spend on LinkedIn?
You know what? I'm on LinkedIn many hours every day, as much as possible. So you'll see me on LinkedIn in the morning, in the afternoon, and in the evening. I'm always checking my notifications to see what's going on. Oh, someone made a comment here, I see. But I need to add something there, so I need to take care of that. So I'm always on there trying to stay up to date. I know there are people reaching out to connect with me. Some people I will quickly accept the invitation, you know, and I need to evaluate who I let into my network, because when I'm looking at what I'm posting, the content that I put out there, I need to have the right audience. And so that's actually still a work in progress, Kent.
That's fair. I think
All
as
things out there. These are all things that we're learning over time, you know, and that's what I say. Had I known what I know today, I would have started already many years ago.
fair enough. When you look forward for the next 18 to 24 months in your industry, what are the biggest challenges that your industry faces?
Okay, yeah. Well, one of the things that we face today is paralysis with decision makers. I've noticed that, especially over the past 3 years. And I was on a global call a few weeks ago, and everyone is noticing sales cycles are taking longer. Many sales aren't even going through. And I think there's a lot of fear out there. Fear is paralyzing people. Maybe I need to wait and see what happens. And that's not a good attitude, because your business is only going to go downhill. You know, it's you got to have a growth mentality. You got to look at how do you move forward. You can't let all these other things, you know, dictate what you do or don't do. You have to look at your business. And I think a lot of decision makers right now, they're looking at the outside. They're not focused on their business, and they're letting fear take over. I'm not sure if I can commit to this right now. You know, they don't really say why. I will tell you, the first part of the pandemic, what I noticed, I couldn't even get a hold of a lot of people.
Hmm.
It was pretty difficult for most. But I think this paralysis here is probably going to continue for some time yet. What else do I notice? Another thing that I think is finding people that want to work together mutually. I think that's becoming more of a challenge. What I notice is a lot of people reaching out to me. It's what they can have an advantage of, what they can benefit from, instead of having a more of a mutual exploratory type attitude. Might we work together? Because if we work together, you know, we might be able to refer clients one to another and grow both businesses. I think that's a better approach than you know, people thinking, okay, how can I grow sales for my business? And the other half is forgotten. Going back to mutual relationships, it needs to be two-way. I mean, are you able to benefit us also? I think it works far better. Anyhow, um, and another thing that I think we're seeing more and more of is experienced people. I think they're being from business. We see a lot of people in the C-suite that have been, let go. Many of them are struggling. A lot of companies don't seem to want to hire experienced anymore. Go with the younger generation, and I think that's a concern for me because I think if you don't have that experience in the business, um, you know, it's not just all about technology. I know it seems like the younger you are, the better you seem to understand the technology that's emerging, right? But I think you also need that experience. You need that balance in business, and it seems to be more like you got to look at the younger people. Hey, and we'll be able to save some money. We can pay them less salary. But is that really great for business? I don't think it is. I think we still need to take these experienced people. We can't put them on the sidelines. So I see that. I see also. I'll add in another one there. I think what I'm noticing, there are people that are in sales. They're actually leaving the sales field and looking for more salaried positions because it has been challenging the last several years. And yeah, I don't know what to say about that. Although I do see entrepreneurs, especially in our city, Kent, over the past 3 years. Even though businesses have shut down, I see a lot of people that have started their own businesses. So there's a lot of entrepreneurial spirit in our cities, which I think is great.
I think it is fantastic. There's definitely that for sure. As you look to your client base, you look upwards to the company you work for. What's your definition of a successful business?
Yeah, well, I don't think it's all dollars and cents, to be honest with you. A lot of people look at just the dollars and the cents, but I think it goes way beyond that. You need to be able to connect with your clients. You need to have a relationship with them. You need to genuinely care for what it is that they need. Are you meeting their needs? And so that's a different mindset altogether. I will say you do need to have a growth mindset as well. I come across a number of businesses, they're okay with the status quo. I think with status quo there's only one direction you will go. You'll shrink. You always have to have a growth mindset because you will lose clients because things do change. Maybe your client got swallowed up by someone else. Things happen. So we need that. Successful business is also going to be willing to embrace technology, and there's no need to be fearful that all of a sudden you're going to have to lay off masses of people. That doesn't happen. I know there's always that fear. Technology will replace people. How long have we had technology for, Kent? Computers have come on the scene, in the 80s, start to explode and the internet came. And what I'm finding is we have now more work than ever. We're busy, you know.
Yep.
So technology is not going to replace people, but we need technology. Let's automate the mundane tasks, you know. Let's see if we can use technology so that we know who to connect with, be more efficient with our sales and marketing, efficient and effective, and that's just possible today with technology. So we can spend so our salespeople can spend more time building those relationships, you know. Um, and I, what else? Yeah, and just valuing people, internally and externally. As I keep saying, people are your most important resource internally and externally, right? So value them, value employees, find out what it is that they really need, listen to their concerns. I don't think, I think true leaders have their ears open to those on the front lines. They do. What is it that you need? Because just sitting in the office, you're not going to know everything. You need to hear from people. What are your challenges? What do you think needs to change? What are the tools that you think you need?
Yep.
So it's just listening to them, listening to your clients. What do your clients need? Are you actually going to fulfill their need, or are you just looking at them as a transaction? Don't look at them as a transaction. Look at them as a relationship. A human. There's always a human being involved in every relationship. It's not just personal, but also in business. So value people. And really respect them.
Excellent. Thank you. That's great. I'm going to share that one for sure. One last question. What do you want to be known for?
I want to be known for a man of integrity. I want to be known for being honest, transparent. Yes, I hold myself accountable. We all have slip-ups, right? But we have to be honest, and we have to be willing to. I want to be known that I'm one that's always wanting to learn about other people. What are you up to? What's the technology? Do we need to make changes in business? I need to be having that kind of attitude. I want to be known for really valuing people. How can I help you? I actually got a lot of satisfaction helping others. When I see that now they're going to have I've helped them set up for success. I just did that recently with one of our ATS partners, as he has another business of his own. I connected a couple people together, and his world has changed. So it makes me feel good. There's a sense of satisfaction that comes out of it. So it's really, in the end, it's all about people. How can I help them? And so when I look at leadership, it's not about dictating, it's not about micromanaging, it's about being, how can I serve you? How can I help you? And that's what I want to be known for.
I like it. No, it's very genuine. And it's something I've actually enjoyed in doing these interviews, is meeting the most random of people and just having conversations, but then connecting them. Nothing in it for me other than you need to talk to this guy because he's got this going on, and maybe you can do something together. And it's really creating a bigger community, I think. Calgary, I think we talked about it before, is I moved here in 98 and Calgary was 600,000 people. Here we are in 2022, we're 1.2 million. But the entrepreneurial spirit is still alive, but I think we lost our community as we got bigger. And I think it's time to really find a different way of building that community and helping people connect with each other. Unabashedly, just share it, help, connect, and just, I'm with you. I think that's great because
I agree.
I don't need to get paid to make an introduction. There's lots of things I can do to earn an income and support people. And if I can take 2 minutes here and 1 minute there, and even if it's, 45 minutes a week where I can make the time to make an introduction, send an email. There's lots of people that I'm sure there was a time in my life where I needed a help or a hand up, and there was a person there. And so being that person who's, starting a new business, maybe doesn't have all the revenue, but they could use for an introduction to meet somebody. It's all about ideas, and just that mental support gives them that boost to say, hey, we can do something for you.
Yeah. Now, see, one of the things that we do at ATS is we fund projects, in Canada, US, UK, and Western Europe. But I do get people coming out from other countries. I get people coming out that don't meet the 100 million minimum that we're seeking. And I look to see who in my network might be able to help. And so I do refer them, and I'm hopeful that I can help some of them, because I know that there's a lot of need in Africa and India, and many other countries around the world, that our funding team isn't considering right now just because of AML and economic ratings. But there's still people. And if I can help them in some way, I want to be able to do that. And I don't have to be paid. Like I say, don't have to be paid. This is an internal sense of satisfaction that you get. You know, I'm not about so much about external. I think I'm more internal. Yes, money is important, but if you're not, money can't make you necessarily happy. It can't give
No,
you contentment. You know, I always tell people, you know, you can have all the money in the world, you can buy the best bed in the world, but will it buy you the best sleep? You can buy the best doctor, but will it buy you the best health? And so you can go on and on like that. You
yeah,
know, so it's gotta be, you gotta have that internal parts, you know, and I think you know, I'd like to have more people in our community, in our world, you know, realize it's that internal part that's also going to make you happier in life. You know, focus on that, not just the externals, you know, like, and I think our young generation, you know, the next generation, they're too focused on the externals. Focus on some of the internals, because it really will give you more contentment and peace in life, right?
yeah, for sure. Excellent. Thank you very much for your time. You've been more than generous with your time. Your opinion's amazing. Your story's fantastic. Erwin, one last plug for the company. Where can they get more information? How can they find you if they want to learn more about ATS, what you guys
Okay,
do?
if they want to learn more from ATS, the best way to contact me would be my email address, which is ejack, E-J-A-C, E-J-A-C-K at atspg.com. So ejack at atspg.com, you know, and I will respond to their emails. Sometimes I have things going to my spam box, so if you're genuine, you know, send me another email. You know, I try and look through my spam once in a while, but that is the best way to get a hold of me. And I do have a Calendly link as well. So if you go on my LinkedIn profile, you'll see, you can connect me through LinkedIn as well. So I have it very simple, you know. So at the end, I've customized it to Erwin Jack. So if you look, Google me, LinkedIn, you'll find me right there.
Excellent.
Just send me a LinkedIn message. Just, you know, these are little tips that I try and tell people about. Customize your link, your LinkedIn link there. You can do that. A lot of people don't even know that yet. You know,
Yeah.
do that. You know, maybe even put in a phrase. Maybe it's not even your name. Maybe it's something very unique. You know, that people search and then find you, right?
That's great advice, actually, because I think, and that's one thing in today's world, there's so much we can know or do that it's hard to uncover it all. But sometimes
That's
these
right.
little bit of these tips, these tricks go a long way just to help people jog their memory and go, yeah, what if? And then they can kind of go explore and find other ways of doing the same thing. So once again, thank you very much, Erwin. Been great. Greatly appreciate it. Keep up the good work and we'll talk to you soon.
Appreciate it. Sounds good. All right. Take care.